In today's video, I'm going to break down the exact step-by-step process that I used to make my client Andrew go stuck from 7K per month all the way to last month we made $75,000 in a single month purely on an organic offer by leveraging these four main story sequences. I'm going to break down exactly why stories are so important, what stories are, how to properly use them, where he was at before he leveraged this story mechanism, and where he currently is now. And I'm going to be using real live examples, live stories, and actual concrete proof that this works. So stick around and you could definitely implement the exact same for your business. So make sure you grab a coffee, make sure you grab a bottle of water because you're not going to want to miss out on it. Now, before I even talk about story sequences, how to craft up stories, what are stories, I first need you guys to understand the dilemma my client was that made me signal to him that we have to start leveraging stories, just so if you're a coach or a consultant and you're listening to this, you'll be able to say, oh my God, that's the exact position I'm in. I should start using that for my own offer, for my own info product, okay? Because I need you guys to truly understand the amount of leverage you create just by posting stories is unprecedented. And it blows my mind that there are not more coaches and consultants doing this in the space, but there aren't, because it's hard for you to understand how to properly position yourself. The first step is just going to be understanding your current situation. So you see here, most coaches and consultants are stuck normally around 10 to, I would say, 45K per month. And a lot of the times is because of an unpredictable acquisition system. Now, what do I mean by this? When I say unpredictable, you can get a large amount of views or a large amount of engagement on one specific day, or even on one specific week or month, and your income can skyrocket. But then the next month, you're down to what you were normally. The reason why that happened is because you had no predictability with your scaling, right? It's the same thing with ads. If I know every dollar I put in, I'm going to get $10 out, which is going to be a 10x ROAS, I know I now have a predictable money printing machine. I can put $10 in, get $100 out, because that's the machine that I've created that's so predictable. And it's the exact same thing with the acquisition system. This means you don't have intent behind your content. You don't know why you went viral, or you don't know why you made this much money. And the last position you want to be in is to look at your fan basis or WAP dashboard, look at this week and say, wow, I made $30,000 this week or this month. Next month, you're back down to like 10, 20K a month. And you're scratching your head thinking, well, why did that happen? This is where predictability comes into play. Inconsistent cash flow in a business will kill you long term. So you need to understand this specific flow. It all starts from the intent, but I'm going to go from the out inwards. Outwards, what you see is a quality of leads. As a coach, consultant, your DM setters, or yourself, you're just going to see the quality of the leads, whether they're qualified financially or just their buying intent in general. What you see behind the quality is the positioning. I'll give you the perfect analogy for the positioning. Let's say, for example, your favorite sport is soccer. If I have a soccer team and I'm on the market to go find myself a new right wing because my current right wing is injured, let's say, I'm not going to look at like tens of thousands of soccer players, right? I'm just going to filter through and say, and I'm going to look at the specific position that I need. I'm not going to go on the entire market, look at all the popular players and then try and pick and choose. I'm going to be efficient with my time. I'm going to filter through and say, okay, I need a right wing in my team. So I'm going to go ahead and filter through the market, the soccer market, let's say, and I'm going to go through which players are right wings that are free agents. Why? Because they're positioned in a way that meets your specific problem. Specific demand, specific supply. So if, for example, with Andrew, he teaches people and he helps stuck intermediate traders how to get unstuck and get profitable. So if I'm a stuck trader that is inconsistent, blowing accounts, what am I going to search up? I'm going to search up coach or consultant or mentorship, teaching risk management, and avoid blowing funded accounts. So then that's where positioning comes into play. So I know what authority you are in the industry, in the marketplace. That's where positioning comes into play. On top of that, behind positioning is the value. In this society, we are a trust-driven market. What this means is you are going to be heavily judged by the amount of value you give out. I'm going to say this a couple times in the video at least, that in this market right now, you need to give the information, sell the implementation. There are so many coaches out there making so much money because they're so good at giving away the value for free, but you're selling the implementation. Look at Alex Hormozi, for example. example, phenomenal marketing with top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. Because you're able to make money off this free content, but what's going to happen when you're stuck? You're going to go right back to the person that made you money in the first place. That is exactly what I mean by giving value. And behind value is just simply the intent. And as you could see, it goes from intent to value. Why? Because you need to know and understand why you're giving this kind of value. And from the value, you're able to position yourself as an authority in the marketplace. And from the position, the quality of leads will come. Because I promise you, by having a proper intent, giving away proper value, and establishing positioning in your industry, the quality of leads coming in from the inbound will be people saying, I'm interested, I want your help, just saw your reel, I love the content, do you offer one-on-one? This happens more than you guys think. But before looking at here, you first got to look at right over here. On to my next point. Why post the stories? What kind of stories to post? When to post the stories? And how to post the stories? I'm going to cover all of this in just a second. But first, I need you guys to understand why are stories so powerful. Number one is the ability to nurture an audience from cold traffic to warm in just 7 days. I've seen this so many times. If you have a specific funnel and a very powerful funnel, someone can come in on a Monday that doesn't even know you off a top of funnel reel or a lifestyle reel, and by Saturday or Sunday, they will be completely sold. Because Google says it takes an average person 7 hours of consuming your content for them to know, like, and trust you. And this is why stories are so important, where you can push people from your stories to your long form content, and that does all the legwork for you. The second point is you're able to showcase credibility and proof of concept. Now, if on a daily basis, or let's say every second days, you keep showing your student results, your mentee results, eventually what's going to happen is proof of concept will be established within the marketplace. And nowadays we are a trust-driven economy, like I've said, meaning the more proof you have, the more you will be sold, because it's extremely important for your audience to know that what you do actually works, because then they're going to be able to be relatable. If I'm a brand new trader and there's a bunch of credibility and proof about brand new traders like myself having made 10, 20,000, well, imagine how much more trust I'm going to have in the coach/consultant when I see these kind of assets. Third point is with stories, you're able to establish authority within the industry through your lifestyle. Now, guys, I hate to say it, but the cars, the lifestyle, the watch, the work from home, traveling, all that truly does help. Of course, that's more top of funnel, and that's more geared towards a higher engagement, higher views, less niche specific. However, what's going to happen a lot of the times as well is if, for example, I want to start making money online and I see Andrew or I see a coach or consultant and they're working from Greece, working from Dubai, I'm going to ask myself, how does he make his money? That's an amazing spot to work in. How does he make his money? Or if I see someone driving a phenomenal car, a sports car, whatever it might be, or having a nice watch, I'm going to ask, how does this guy at 22 make this kind of money? I'm so impressed. And right away, what happens is your status increases. I believe it or not, guys, we are a very big status-driven economy. Why do people buy cars when they first make money? Why did I buy a car when I first started making money, right? Because status is number one for you to symbolize your hard work. The fourth thing is your ability to pre-handle objections and shift limiting beliefs. This is so crucial, because you're able to pre-handle objections if you position your stories in the right way by concerning someone's potential objections and addressing them right away. For example, if I wanted to post a story right over here, right? And the number one objection that I wanted to overcome, let's say, was time. Apologies, guys, for my drawings. Let's say time was the number one objection I wanted to overcome. Well, what I would do is I would use, let's say, a client testimonial called Mo. I would use Mo and I would describe how Mo went from XYZ per month as a server, and how he hopped on a call with me and he realized that he had no time, and how he was procrastinating getting the proper help, and that on the call he finally realized once and for all that you don't have the time, you make the time. And right now, fast forward 6 months later, he's making 10K per month. If you craft a story like this, for example, the number one thing this is going to do for you and your audience is now you're going to be able to overcome the objection of time. Because if I'm looking to join a mentorship and I'm still hesitant, and I see this story and I can relate with, let's say, Mo, for example, I was at 0K per month, and now, he had no time. We abolished that on the call, and he realized that you make the time 6 months later, 10K per month, my objection goes away. Obviously, Obviously, this has to be real credibility, real proof, real results. If you're able to position the results in this way, you're going to pre-handle a lot of objections and you'll make a lot more money. Now, the sub points, so nurture an audience, showcase credibility and proof, establish authority, pre-handle objections. But the main things that's going to happen is two main things. Number one is the more specific and intensive your stories are, you'll attract a high caliber client. A high caliber client is someone with high quality, resulting in easier fulfillment and more results. The absolute last thing you want is a client hopping on a call, which actually might be happening to you, where it's a bargain to even get them on a payment plan of $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and you're handling so many objections, you're pulling and pushing and pulling, trying to get the deal closed. These clients are never going to see the proper results. What you want are clients to hop on a call, pay in full, and get the proper results in 6 to 8 weeks. That's how my clients do. I know when a client of mine hops on a call, pays me in full, says, Jerry, I completely trust you. I know that I have this trust, I have this commitment, and we're going to make a lot of money together. There's no doubt in my mind. That is how I was able to scale one of my clients from 100K to 600K a single month in over the span of 6 months. That's how I was able to do it, because he paid me in full. I knew what I'm talking about. I knew my systems worked. I knew my strategies worked. He implemented, he had trust behind it, and how he's scaling. This is going to be able to attract a high caliber client, knowing exactly what he wants, where he wants to go, and what he needs from you, meaning he was going to start right away. But most importantly, guys, it takes weight off of the sales team. The marketing does the heavy lifting in the conversion. I've always said this before. What you want is you want your marketing to do 80% of the conversion, and the sales call only does 20%. Whereas 99% of you are doing 20% conversion from the marketing and 80% on the actual call. You're making your life too hard. You are making your life a living hell. Trust me when I tell you, with the proper stories, this will be your reality. And they're going to hop on a call right, they'll ask you a couple questions. Question number one, question number two, question number three. Worst comes to worst, they're going to ask you for a payment plan, right? And then you can do either like 2 split, sometimes a 3 split, and you can upsell them afterwards as well. So trust me when I tell you 80%, 20% ratio has to be the cardinal rule. Now that you guys understand why stories are so powerful, I want to explain to you a simple funnel so you guys can really see how I view stories. You can start by doing lifestyle and personal nurture. So you attract attention, you attract engagement from your stories, and you can then transfer towards credibility and educational. When I see credibility, I mean proof, results, testimonials, case studies, just showcasing, like I said, proof of concept over here and being able to gain trust from your audience. When I see educational, I mean shifting someone's view on a given problem and solving their problem through your stories, educating the prospect. If I'm, let's say, a consultant or coach like Andrew, providing day trading mentorship, a educational driven story sequence for me would be anywhere between a 4 to 7 story sequence, educating someone on why they might have a specific problem. For example, in one story, I would say you don't have a risk management problem. What you had is an emotional problem. You're not able to set up your charts in a way where you have no reason but to win. And the only reason to do so is by implementing X, Y, and Z. And moral of the story is, if you don't set up your charts in this way, no matter how good your risk management protocol is, you're unable to see X profits. Now, obviously, I'm not a day trader, but the angle is what you guys need to use. So you're educating someone on their problem and you're explaining them your point of view to shift their perspective. A layer deeper under that would be value-driven and positioning. This is when value-driven is when you're offering an asset for completely free. Meaning, if you have a problem and a coach or consultant gives you the solution through a long-form converting asset for absolutely free, you, my friend, will make a lot of money. And you will gain a tremendous amount of trust. But more on this later towards the end of the call, so make sure you guys stick through. And the last thing is, after I'm able to establish lifestyle and personal content, credibility and educational content, value-driven and positioning, I'm able to direct call-outs towards the mentorship. Whether it's DM CTA, whether it's DM for a specific lead magnet, you'll get the warmest kind of people because they have consumed the entire funnel. And I've always said this, buying intent increases by 1% through every story watched. So let's go to my mentor says it'll take 100 days for them to be able to be converted. And now that you guys understand how powerful stories can be if leveraged properly, let me show you guys how his stories used to be. So in this section of the video, I wanted to show you the initial situation that he was in early in March when I first signed with him. As you can see, it's a lot of talking videos, a lot of talking, no text, nothing. So I don't know at first glance what's happening, meaning his bounce off was through the roof. We're shouting out people that are not even making us money. This shout out is not even making us any money. Use code REACT. It doesn't sound like a high authority. It doesn't sound high authority. Posting a skate park, for example, in your hometown, it doesn't provide anything or even food, right? And then out of nowhere, a random post, DM me ready, and let's figure out how we could take your training to the next level. Again, very vague over here. The blueprint is there. The question is, are you ready to execute? It's not engineered for conversion. We're just reposting the reels with very minimal captions, very minimal intrigue. And if we are screen recording, we're not leveraging this in a way where they could convert on a longer form video. Long story short, this is what I promise 99.9% of people watching are in right now. And if that's the case, that's completely fine. That's why I clicked on this video in the first place. But let me explain to you what this actually does to your audience. Number one is no intent behind posting. Meaning you don't have a concrete reason behind why you're posting this kind of story. So that is why you're setting yourself up for failure in the start. The second thing is no urgency or emotion from your prospects, meaning they don't feel compelled to have to join. There's no emotion behind it. You're not creating a sense of FOMO or fear of missing out. Third is no clear authority presence. No one wants to be coached from you if you do not have a strong authority presence in the marketplace. And this all leads to very little to no buy-in, right? And what does all this lead to? When you have no intent, no urgency, no emotion, no clear authority presence, and no buy-in, what do? More stories and more CTAs selling them on the mentorship. This is what 99% of the info industry does. And if you fall in that category, I don't blame you, because most don't know the true potential behind stories, but now you will. This was the turning point for Andrew. When I tell you the turning point, I mean he went from an unpredictable 6K, 7K, 8K a month to 10K days, 15K days, purely organic. I broke this down in 4 main categories so you guys can truly and visually understand how powerful stories are, starting with credibility intent stories. Now, why are these so powerful? The main points I want you guys to focus on is the showcase of results from the mentees where the past situation of these mentees resonated with the current ICP situation. Let me explain. If I'm a future prospect that I see a current mentee, his name is Mo, and when he started, he was stuck at 3K per month blowing funded accounts. If Andrew is able to explicitly call that out and I listen and hear that, my mind, I think this person is exactly where I am. His past situation is where I am presently. So right away you have relatability and you're able to call out problems they had before being coached. And if you're able to showcase your unique mechanism as the lever needed to solve the problem, I will come to you every single time. So positioning is everything. This main sequence is engineered to build trust, showcase genuinity, and make it relatable. The whole point is making it relatable. If you cannot make it relatable to my current situation, you will not be able to solve my problem, or I won't be perceived that your solution is what I need for my problem. Now, look at how we structured this in such a way where it was impossible not to collect money. Right away, the main story, the first and the second, are engineered towards curiosity. I want to maintain the highest amount of curiosity for people to click on. My mentee Mailing made $18,000 in his first month working with me, from inconsistent struggling trade to profitable funded trader. So right away we call out his past situation and his current situation, trying to make relatability right out the gate. Another result, Joseph got funded with 2 accounts in 3 weeks. Now he's on track to get a payout and replace his 9 to 5 with proof once again. Industry differentiation. I want people to understand why we are different. Everyone sells you indicators, bots, and signals. I teach you to read institutional behavior. What this also does is not only differentiates you on the market, but I want to weed out low quality and low caliber clients who are just looking for indicators, bots, signals. When I say institutional behavior, this is a very intellectual word that will spark even more curiosity. How do you mean institutional behavior? How can you teach that? No trader ever talks about that. What does that mean? And that's when we got them hooked right away, because by the third story, they're staying till the end. Now watch this. I briefly described and accurately described the mentorship stages, meaning the transformation stage they will overcome when they join the mentorship. And I'm doing this from a psychological standpoint for them to see themselves going through this change. Phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. And right here, I give them a perspective shift. You're either building someone else's dream or your own financial freedom. Which life will you finally choose? I give them a binary. This is all so emotion based. It is crazy to me. And right here, I'm breaking a limiting belief. Which limiting belief is this? Mark joined earlier this week, and in just a few days, he's already learned more from me than he did in 6 months with his previous mentor. I'm breaking the objection that might come into play of being burnt in the past by saying previous mentor. The second thing is the objection they instill on themselves as the future prospect on not having the time to learn. Because I just said here, in just a few days, he already learned more. So I'm breaking two limiting beliefs in one single story. And right here, I'm shaping their identity, meaning what kind of prospect I want. Mark didn't even want to hop on a call. He knew how good the mentorship would be just based on the YouTube videos and joined right away. Money loves speed. Today, he's already up $400 on his funded account. I want people to see and understand that Mark didn't hop on a call, that he joined through DMs. Because I want people to align on Mark. I want people to see what Mark did and follow the exact same process. And that is how we did a strong CTA, which, by the way, we only do CTAs to join the mentorship every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Okay, I only work with people ready to change their lives completely. All my mentees who started 4 weeks ago are already profitable. I want 3 more killers who are motivated and hungry to learn and make serious money. Reply freedom if you're ready to go all in. I'm already pre-framing so much of the uncomfort of everything that when they DM the word, they're ready to go and they have cash on hand. And this one specific story sequence that took us 15 minutes to craft made us over 8.7K. Keep in mind that just 4 months ago, Andrew was making 8K every 2 weeks. We did that in a single day off of not ads, off of a story sequence that took us 15 minutes to make. Zero cost of acquisition, zero. That is how powerful story sequences can be. 4K pay in full, 1K payment plan with another 1K payment plan and 1K, meaning 3K in total, and 1750 off a Zelle. And that is just because of one story sequence. And we also had even more the following days. I just won't even show you guys because it's insane how much cash we've collected. This is the credibility intent driven. Next is the personal / nurture. This showcases his personality outside of training. I want people to see who Andrew is outside of just the charts. Because understand this, when I'm a future prospect, I can't see what's in your mentorship. So people judge based off of appearances. And it's true. That's human psychology. If I see someone that takes care of his physique, he becomes trustworthy. If I see someone that looks good and dresses well, he has a very strong personality. If I see someone that's strong, he's very disciplined. These are all character traits that I could tell from a split second of just seeing his stories, with a pure purpose of I want your mentees or prospects to see that you are someone that takes care of his physique, that goes to the gym, is disciplined, works hard, and looks good. So people can rely on you. Because when you are in shape, it means you have discipline. And when you have discipline, people can rely on you. They don't see what's in your mentorship. They just see who you are as a person. Now, I would also add different pictures over here of him posting his meal prep or his meal plans, as well as him going to church as well, which showcases his values and traditions, right? Like even now, if I go on his Instagram, Friday, September 5th, just go pure lifestyle, right? So here, look, him at the gym, him trading, rise and shine, more food, small single story results based driven. Him speak a little bit more here. He was talking about how he hopped on a call with one of his students and he gave a very, very big shifting limiting belief. Him at the gym, more gym, meal prep. This obviously we just do once a day. Only once a day we want to do. This content should showcase, like I said, who you are outside of regular business. Showcase your true personality. Showcase your values and your views. This will be a unique point that will separate you from the other coaches online. You need to establish relatability because, guys, people buy into who you are. And if you are relatable and you make content and they go, wow, this guy trades, this guy works out, I see myself in him, they're going to resonate with you all the time. I can't tell you how many people are in his DMs on a daily basis. I love the way you work out. I love the fact that you work out and you're in the trading and you're into the markets and you're into the whole business field. How do I start with you, bro? For the educational driven content, a lot of the times what I want to do is I want to be able to showcase the ICP, meaning your ideal client profile, a specific angle in their situation. So I told Andrew, in this case, I want you to showcase your audience the behind the scenes of what you do and how you set up for the charts. So right here it says how I prep my charts. My day starts at this time. Good traders does X, bad traders do this. Winning trades are easy. And I'm able to showcase a different perspective. Some days I wait hours for a setup if price is choppy. I walk away by 11 a.m. I'm usually done for the day. Trading is patience and discipline. And then what I told Andrew to do is, if you had one-on-one access with me, how could I help? The reason I did this, so you guys understand, is I want them to explicitly tell me what problem they have, whether it's developing a trading plan, risk management, high probability setups, or prop firm rules and scaling. Check this out, because this will make you a lot of money. Problem 1, asset 1. Problem 2, asset 2. 3, 3, 4, and 4. Each and specific problem will have a specific asset that will get sent out that will do the conversion. By solving their specific problem with a specific solution, I promise you, out of 10 people, 7 of them will want to join. Out of 7, 4 of them will be qualified. Out of 4, 3 will close. That is how serious and that is how powerful this kind of sequence is. And if no call is booked from the long form content, well, what happens is value debt is sparked. Value debt means you led with value. You didn't ask, they asked you, and you provide value ahead of time, meaning the response will be way more increased than usual, because they will feel compelled to want to answer when you do your follow-up SOP. And when you follow up, hey bro, what were your main 3 takeaways from asset number 3? What's going to happen is you're going to have a conversation with them. They'll tell you number 1, number 2, number 3, main takeaways. And from there, 2 things can happen. Either they book the call, and from the call, they close. If they don't close, no problem. Same thing as a DQ, send them right back to the converting assets, and in 1 to 3 weeks, which is proven, they will convert once again. They will get their problem solved once again, and they're going to hop back on the call, and this time they're going to close every single time. So no matter the situation, we convert them and diverge them right back to the content, and that does all the legwork for us. And this was for the educational. This, I'm telling you guys right now, use this mechanism right here. Use this mechanism: problem asset, no call booked, value debt, follow-up SOP, DQ, call booked, cash collected. Use this. You'll make so much money in the space. And last but not least, my favorite, which is the value-driven sequence. Now, the reason why I do value driven is because I want to position yourself as the expert in your industry, and you want to showcase your mechanism as the unique angle needed to solve a specific problem. Now, obviously, there are different angles you could use, but you want your specific angle. So for Andrew, it was his risk management protocol. That's his specific strategy that he wants trademarked to him. And we had to leverage it in a way where when struggling traders come onto his page, they know that that specific angle will be the solution to all their problems. And when you lead with value, like I said, by offering free information, we're going to be able to help them every step of the way. The number one way that this value driven is different to educational is because with value driven, we ask for a CTA and they have to reply back for us to give them a specific asset that will solve their problem. This is way more engagement than a poll, for example, meaning this is a way stronger funneling process. Just look at what we went through over here. We started with a curiosity, with the result that we led through. While most traders spend months just trying to pass their fall from challenges, Mo has already made over $3,000 across 3 of his accounts and is consistently profitable. So again, curiosity. Now we use the angle. Most training mentors sell you a course and disappear. I personally flew out to train Mo for 3 days. No one flies out to see a specific mentee. So we use the angle in a way where we are way different than the rest of the mentors. Because if you have a whole industry and you have a bunch of mentors over here all offering the same thing, no one is flying out but Andrew. So right away, he stands out. And the person that stands out gets the cash all the time. So with the given angle, we're not going to showcase the process so they see themselves going through it. Again, with day 1 to 5, I'm able to explain to them what Andrew did to Mo that made him profitable. While the industry sells dreams, I build real traders. Here's exactly how most transformation happened. Day 1 to 5, this happened. Day 6 to 10, that happened. Day 11 to 14, this started happening. The reason why I do this is because if I align with most position, I now see myself emotionally going through this kind of transformation. And if I'm able to understand how Andrew's able to help me, and I'm able to see the different days and what's done on every single day, I become so much more interested. so much more invested. And after you're able to showcase the process of your mentorship, here is the bread and butter of what we did. You're probably one of these situations, lost money on multiple trading courses, can't seem to stay consistently profitable, know the theory, keep blowing funded accounts. This is a filter mechanism. And the reason why is because I'm calling the direct ICP's problem in the situation that they're in. This filters our ideal client profile and allows us to have conversations with the exact kind of prospects we want. If you don't align in this situation, chances are you're going to drop off from the story. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. But if you do align with these situations, you're going to stick around. So if you're able to directly call out someone's current situation, they're all ears and they'll be listening to you as the authority. After that's said and done, this kind of value normally costs multiple 4 figures and you can literally just use this to make money. DM me free and I'll send you the complete live breakdown on how Mo made 9K in 14 days. So we say how it normally costs multiple 4 figures. DM me the word free now and I'll be able to send it to you. As they DM you the word free now, the setter reaches out with value. They now need us. We don't need them. They need us. We problem solve in the DMs. And what happens is this, with a specific follow-up SOP, like here, 2 things can happen. Number 1 is call gets booked and close happens. Number 2 is call gets booked and no close happens. No problem. If it's a no close, we send them right back to the converting assets to the start. Same thing with the DQ. If they're unqualified in the DMs, no stress, send them over a converting asset, and within 1 to 3 weeks, they will convert every single time. And this is exactly how I was able to make one of my clients on an organic offer $76,000 in just a single month. $76,000 in just 1 month with story sequences, credibility driven, personal, value driven, educational driven, all leading to conversion as much as possible. And mind you, we only do 1 CTA to join the mentorship every 20 days, whereas most people do it at least every 3 days. The fact that I'm able to make $75,000 with just 1 CTA to join the mentorship every 20 days shows how powerful and how strong this funnel is. I don't care if you're already making 100K a month. If you use this, you will 2x, 3x, 4x your business. I'm telling you right now, you need to understand everything that goes on here because your prospects won't see this happening, but you will every single time. Now look, if this made sense, if you enjoyed the content and you understood what I've went through so far, I have a consulting business that I specialize and I teach exactly what goes on during this video in more in-depth. I show you and tailor specific strategies for acquisition, for conversion, for fulfillment, exactly for your situation. Okay, I help consultants and coaches that are stuck between 15 to 50K per month and I help them scale. If you want to go through my results, please feel free to go on my Instagram, StekoGP right now, go through all my client results, go through a couple. In just the past couple months, I've been able to generate multiple millions of dollars in the info space. So if you're a coach or consultant and you want to get the proper help, my investment is multiple 4 figures. I know I'm going to help you scale. I know I'm going to help you have a thriving business. I know I'm going to fix your problems that you have, your acquisition. I'm going to fix your conversion. I'm going to fix your fulfillment. I know I'm able to do all these things. And the confidence I get is from the results that I've able to craft and create all the years that I've been in this space. Shoot me a message on Instagram, StekoGP. I'm very friendly. I answer to everyone. If you want to just have a 15-20 minute call to audit your system, book in a call. I'll go through your system. I'll tell you exactly what you need. If you can't join because you're not financially qualified, I'll send you over some videos. We'll keep in touch. In the coming months, we'll see what happens and we'll do business together. This makes sense. Leave a like, comment down below what was your favorite part, and I'll catch you next video.